One of the articles that has been sort of ruffling a few feathers online was this one from Forbes called Xbox is about to leave PlayStation behind in 2022. I haven't read it yet. My immediate reaction was, no, that's not true. uh, in 2022, I think it's going to be a great year for both companies. I don't think anybody is going to leave anybody else in the dust in 2022. PlayStation is hugely successful in 2021, breaking all their console sales records, and they had a lot of sales records and great games in 2021. 2022 looks like a great year for them with a few titles coming to PC, like God of War, for example, is coming to PC, and the Uncharted series will be also. They have Horizon, they have Gran Turismo, they have God of War Ragnarok. 2022 is going to be a great year for PlayStation. 2022 will be a great year for Xbox also, with games like Starfield coming. I believe Redfall comes next year, and those are just off the top of my head. I know there's more. Stalker 2, for example. Let's dive into this article and just see what their ideas are and see if there's any credence to them. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing by hitting that bell, hitting that subscribe button. I do appreciate everybody who has subscribed this far. So we'll get right into it. I haven't read this yet, and I kind of wanted to do a live reaction to the piece and just see what Eric Kane was discussing here. So Microsoft has made huge strides towards winning back gamers and welcoming in newcomers to the hobby. A radical about face compared to the team leading Xbox when the Xbox One launched in 2013. If you've been watching my videos, this is basically what I've been saying for the whole year. Xbox was almost dead. Xbox has come back and they're doing better than ever. And they're bringing in a lot of new people. It is heartwarming to see. The driving force behind the rise of Xbox isn't the new Xbox Series X console or its baby brother Xbox Series S. Instead, it's the 1-2 punch of Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Cloud Gaming. I would argue more that it's about Xbox Game Pass and smart delivery, but but sure, cloud gaming. Well, Sony still has the most desirable exclusives, primarily because you can only play them on PS4 or PS5, though increasingly they're releasing later on PC as well. The Japanese game maker has nothing comparable to Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Cloud Gaming yet. So this article may not take into account that Sony is releasing some type of competitive gaming service. And I think it might forget, and maybe you're surprised that I'm sort of taking a different angle with this article, but I just think Sony does a really, really good job in the ways that they compete. There's things that I don't like about Sony, but to argue that Xbox is ever going to leave anybody in the dust, I don't think that's going to happen. I think these two are going to be very close next year because Xbox doesn't talk about its sales numbers. Everybody focuses on Xbox's console sales, maybe their Game Pass numbers, but you forget that Xbox is also selling tons of games on PC and as well as their console ecosystem. So those are to be considered. The article doesn't take into account that there's the PlayStation Collection already, which you already get with part of your PlayStation Plus subscription. So you already have access to like the best games, basically the PS4 versions, but still that's a pretty dang good deal no matter how you cut it. And then they're also going to be adding some type of Game Pass type service to their console next year, according to a report from, I believe it was Jason Schreier. And that will definitely help them out in that market. So they have services, they're different. They also have PlayStation Now, which I've talked about why I don't like it as much as Xbox Game Pass. But to say that they just have nothing, it's not true. And if you're in the PlayStation ecosystem, you already know all these things. You might even partake in them. I dabble in all ecosystems, so I'm aware of what services the companies have. But I keep hearing this rhetoric, like I think it's starting to be cool to like Xbox, and people are like, they're gonna crush Sony, and I'm like, I never want anybody to crush anybody. I want companies to be at parity so they compete with each other. And I do think Xbox is going to catch up, and it's going to be much more level. I don't think anybody's getting crushed though. So let's continue the article. Well, Sony still has the most desirable exclusives, primarily because you can only play them on the PS4 or PS5. Yeah, of course. So he brought that up. Closest thing Sony has to this is PlayStation Now, but it's nowhere near as full-featured as Game Pass, which has better games, the ability to download games, and includes every single Xbox exclusive on day one across console and PC. I already kind of went over that. With Xbox Cloud Gaming, you can stream these games to your mobile devices. In fact, with just a gamepad, a smartphone, and an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription, you can play countless Xbox titles without even owning an Xbox. That's true. They're actually activating that on console also soon. So if you own one of the older consoles, you're going to be able to use the cloud to play the games. The cloud service is good. It works for games that don't require precise input timing, but I have to doubt. Excuse me, I'm a little tired this morning. But I have to doubt that you're going to be downloading Halo Infinite over the cloud and playing that way. Halo Infinite is something that does require better timing, so I just still don't see that quite being there. Microsoft has made gaming with Xbox, regardless of your hardware, more accessible than ever. Very true. They have a great accessibility initiative. This applies to console gaming as well, with programs like Xbox All Access making consoles more affordable, and smart delivery, ensuring that no matter what game you buy, you always be able to play the best version for no additional costs. If you have an Xbox One and upgrade to an Xbox Series X, the Xbox One version will convert to an Xbox Series X version if one is available. So that is something Sony has faltered on, and those are largely the areas that I have hammered Sony on for a long time. Their games are more expensive. You have to pay $10 to upgrade your games. Their cloud save infrastructure isn't great, and a lot of people have already identified those in 2021 as issues that they should be working on. More accessible, more affordable, and every bit as powerful, the Xbox platform is leaving PlayStation in the dust. He doesn't really support how. How is it leaving it in the dust? Even if the PlayStation 5 will almost certainly sell more units than the Xbox Series X, in a lot of ways, for Microsoft at least, that's besides the point. Oh, it just ends. So, okay, look, I think this is a headline issue with the article. So basically, he talks about a lot of ways that Xbox is doing better than PlayStation. So, like, if it was Xbox leaves PlayStation in the dust in these 5 categories or something like that, I think it would be a little bit more correct. But now that I've actually read the thing with you and reacted to it live, he makes it looks like he has a video too. He makes interesting points, but he's talking about in terms of services. So this is because I see the Xbox platform is basically, I think he made one of the videos that I plan to make over break. But anyway, I was going to make a video titled something like Xbox's Major Strides in 2021. And they've definitely changed the ideology of what modern gaming should be, how accessibility should work, and PlayStation is catching up in those areas. So I don't really understand how 2022 has anything to do with this article. He basically said, here's everything Xbox does that's better than PlayStation. He makes a lot of good points. There are a lot of things that they do that are better than PlayStation. A lot of people are getting wise to that. But I don't understand how that allows them to leave PlayStation in the dust. Oh, man, was his video playing for the last minute? I don't really understand how that leaves PlayStation in the dust over in 2022. So, don't really get his point. But sure, I guess. So that's the article that sort of ruffled some feathers. I don't really agree with it, to be totally frank. I think it's a little off the mark. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I think Xbox and PlayStation are going to have great 2022s. They have very different strategies. I love how fan and consumer-friendly Xbox has been. I think Sony could make some inroads there, and it sounds like they are working towards that in 2022. And even this year, they've made some corrections, like their relationships with indies. But I'd love to hear what you think. So let me know what you think. Please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell if you like these sort of videos. I do appreciate everybody who subscribes. If you want to become a member, memberships are turned on. Thank you to all of the members that support this channel. I hope you're having a good holiday. I hope everybody watching is having a good holiday. I am going to get out of here. Click that join button if you want to become a member, and I'll catch you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.